day of the hairy freak or the fat slob is practically gone.
Let the party begin. I've got snacks.
Hey, look at us. Look at you. Look at me. We did it again. Another 7 days around the sun. Welcome to WCW Deep Cuts Live. My name's Tom Green. My socials are down there. Letting my computer calm down. There we go. Welcome. Every Tuesday, we get together right here on this screen and we watch a bunch of WCW television classics, forgotten or otherwise, from the 90s and sometimes the year 2000. Welcome everybody in the chat. I'm going to use my phone this week so it doesn't freak out my computer. I see Cajun Jungle Tigre, Brenticus Maximus, of course the man, the myth, the legend, Brian Dermody. I see Refs' Wizards. I see the Bear Man himself, Reliable Arbiter. I see Fire Pro Spooky. Welcome. I don't know why I do that voice. It's a thing. Welcome to Super Clerk 75. Welcome. Enjoy. Hope you're active in the chat tonight. Nobody will bite. A lot of very nice folks. Let's see. Will Scott, Brenticus Maximus, the Suzanimal. Yes, I did play the thermals up front. The thermals forever. Love, big fan of Hutch. Yeah, so I see Bam Dog here. I see Optimum Vision, No Mercy, the Submaster himself. Welcome everyone. Hey Masteel, happy WrestleMania weekend to you as well. I hope everyone's doing well. There's some bad weather in some parts of the country, so if you are in those parts, I hope you're doing all right. So yeah. Also, COVID sucks. I see at least one of you battling COVID. Hello, Dave in Syracuse. Thank you for the cheers. Make a gif out of that. So yeah, before up front, a few housekeeping things. Wanted to pat myself on the back and also thank all of you for my best month on YouTube by far. Hello, Jake Bars. I see you there. I'm up to like over 12,000 subscribers. It was like 2.3 million views this month on YouTube. So thank you all so very much for that, for getting me there onward and upward. Mr. Beast, watch out. Someday I'm going to get these kids converted to the deep cuts. Also, thank you to everyone who said hi at Squared Circle Expo. I know Jonathan Mayer. I haven't seen him yet in the chat. Normally he's in there. I got to hang out with him. Black Label Pro Show Friday night, where my son slapped the shit out of Trevor Outlaw. I saw a couple folks. One very nice gentleman I did not know. I apologize. I was walking down a hallway when you were there, and you were like, "Hey, not that Tom Green. I love your Twitch and your YouTube and stuff." So thank you. You made me look like a hero in front of my kid, and for that I can only express my dearest gratitudes. Thank you. So yeah, a lot of fun. I met. I did not hang out with John Mayer because all the women around us were safe. Thank you for all the nice words in the chat, by the way. You're all sweethearts. You're the best. What else was I gonna say? Oh, yeah. Met Sting. Very nice man. He fist bumped us because the person in front of us had like something all over their hands, and his hands were like wet. It's weird. But he's a sweetheart. Jushin Liger played with my son, so that was cool. Got to meet Ultimo Dragon as well. My son, big Ultimo Dragon kid. So yeah, a lot of fun this weekend. But you know what's even more fun? Yes, Noli thought that Jimmy Hart, Tommy Rich, Brian Knobbs, and I forget who else, but there were like four old wrestlers he thought were like grandmas there to like help out. Because Sky Blue's mom was there with her. So he thought that was the same thing with them. Like they were there to like run tables for their kids. Hey, Fanatic Gamer, welcome. So anyway, what I was gonna say is almost what's more fun than making Sting's hands all weird at a convention, of course, is Nitro: The Incredible Rise and Inevitable Collapse of Ted Turner's WCW, the Expanded Edition, tonight's sponsor. 4 bonus chapters, a new foreword from Eric Bischoff, dozens of new tidbits, expanded image sections, show formats and scripts, and over 100 footnotes to the original story. If you are one of the few who has not read it yet, do so. It is the most well-researched book in the history of pro wrestling, in my opinion. And that's saying a lot, because there's some very well-researched books, some very badly researched books also. But what I'm going to say is if you've not gotten your hands on this yet, I would recommend scanning that QR code. It's going to be up all night, right over my head. Use code WCW CUTS, get 10% off. And then Guy Evans will send me a couple bucks via PayPal. Understand Guy's got a new book cooking with David Pinzer. No Timbits. Lots of tidbits. Maybe Timbits are in the next book. But yeah, anyway, we're like way past where I want to be. So let's go ahead and get into the show. Let's watch WCW Pro from April 1990. Alright, Samoan SWAT team. As always, let me know how the volume is. I had to do some work on the file itself this week, because the file I have is like really low. Yeah, I've heard that about Brian Sullivan's books. 1990, March 31st, so technically April 1st. Jimmy Garvin joining Lance Russell here. Like, I just cannot imagine these two people having a conversation, let alone calling wrestling show together. Oh, he was perfect. Awesome. Awesome. So it's very weird. Jimmy Garvin's cut on his jackets. Like, I'm not like against it. I said it was weird, but I'm not like, I don't know. Normally a leather jacket kind of goes down further, while up on the sides it comes up.
Talk to Rick Steiner.
Hey, 69 and on. Hell yeah. Estrogen shot.
Now, in addition to that, I'm going to be talking.
I recommend all my friends who take hormones to do them now.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be talking live.
Yeah, no Jim Ross this week, Fanatic Gamer.
That's right.
I'm a big yes, Brian. I like when the announcers are, one of them's dressed to go get high in an alley and the other one's dressed for church. Also, I love the show has literally just started. We have not gone to the ring yet, and they're like, commercial break. Imagine if Dynamite tomorrow starts, they go to the 3-shot of the commentators at ringside, Excalibur, Taz, and Tony Schiavone. And then Taz, before the first match comes out, he's like, let's take a commercial break, Jones.
What's it take to win in college basketball?
A commercial break,
What's it take
Jones.
to win in 7-Up's college basketball championship game? That hard work could win you a limited edition Ford Mustang.
The Jimmy Jam Garvin and Michael P.S. Hayes Freebirds don't get enough credit for, like, they were like the work rate. Like, you go back and watch them with like the Southern Boys, teams like that, they move.
The advertising business has gone crazy.
What is this? What is this movie?
With America, we can't level, you idiot. We're in advertising.
Crazy people.
Forget France. Come to Greece. We're nicer. Right.
Rated R. Special sneak preview Saturday, April 7th at select theaters.
Dudley Moore, miss him. Dudley Moore forever.
Knows no age, an eye disease that affects young and old alike. RP slowly narrows your vision, often resulting in blindness. There's no cure for RP yet, but it doesn't have to be that way.
Imagine a movie coming out today called Crazy People.
RP needs your help.
Neurodivergent people, maybe? People dealing with mental illness? You saw that in the theater! Holy crap. Super Clerk, I love that. I love that for you. Hey, basketball adults. Yes, all-star cast. Dudley Moore and Paul Reiser. Sign me up. We don't get movies like that anymore. But people are just like zany. Now it has to be like the world's blowing up. And we need fucking Bill Murray to save us.
Saturday, WPTT's Weekend Cinema Showcase will keep you laughing all day long. The fun starts at noon when David Niven masterminds an international plot.
I was not aware that Wayne Gretzky is a gambling website dude, but I'm not surprised. Like, every old athlete seems to be a DraftKings person.
Involved in murder and mayhem in the comedy thriller The Squeeze. Tune in for lots of laughs. Saturday beginning at noon on
The Brain, The Squeeze.
22.
Those just sound like wrestling managers.
Earlier today, the Road Warriors had some comments.
I thought it was Vladimir for a second. Why are those multiple kids wearing the same striped shirt? It's not even like a wrestling shirt. They just like went to JCPenney and got the same shirt.
It's time to put it all behind us. It's time to get it on. You and me, no more talking.
Another cool wrestling thing of the time, people wearing jackets with no shirt. We saw it with Jimmy Garvin earlier with his, I believe somebody in the chat called it the tux cut leather shirt. Seen it with Paul Ellering now. Paul Ellering needs to bring back this look.
We don't care. We don't care about Mom. We don't care about Dad. We don't care
Why not?
about nieces and nephews.
I'm Dad.
Or Fido the family dog. You care. You care about going to
Yeah, the roadies are out of the NWA in a couple of months.
You care about Mom and Dad because you might never see them again.
I would fucking hope so.
Russ, what a boner for you.
You say he's boner free?
The following contest, it is set for one fall.
I'm ready to fight him. Boner free.
Weighing 227 pounds,
Robbie Idol. Hey Jonathan, I just name dropped you up front. Talked about how much fun I was hanging out with you at Squared Circle Expo at the Black Label Pro show this weekend. Ranger Ross. I'm proud of Ranger Ross. Didn't Ranger Ross rob a bank? Gary Michael Capetta's the best. I love Gary Michael Capetta. Yeah, it sucks. I wish Gary Michael Capetta would have ring announced the Sting retirement match. That would have been great. Yeah, Iron Sheik got a boner when he won the WWF title. And you can see it because the Iron Sheik's penis is gigantic. Oh, I bet Ranger Joe, if you trained him for a few months, would have a better match than Ranger Ross. Ranger Ross has a good super kick.
That has nothing to do with professional wrestling. Sometimes you can have the greatest record in the world and be a nobody in professional wrestling. So there, how about that?
Slipped down under and had a nice fireman.
That's a shot at somebody. Jimmy Garvin, you could have the best record, but you're still a nobody. These ropes, I think I commented on this last time we watched something from this era. Like, it was... Are they mic'd? What the fuck was that? Or is it just like they're weirdly, like made of weird material? Or are they too tight? Like, they're loud. Every time somebody hits the ropes. Yeah, John Cena did have that boner with Trish Stratus. He would get a lot of adrenaline boners. Hey, High Fly Low, welcome. Thank you so much for follow and for confirming in the chat, aka the Erotic Eric Fontaine fan club, best place on earth. Ranger Ross robbed a bank. You know, Quack really should have like done like a team with him and Nick Gage at a King of Trios before he got canceled.
But I know behind those dull, listless, comatose eyes lies a primitive mind that can see the fierce.
Brian Pillman trying to use every big word he's learned in the last week.
Belts are on the line.
Primitive comatose eyes.
I think of the beautiful faces on the Polynesian women, the little kids, the smiling faces. Not two despicable characters like you.
At least Tom Zink's not being like racist about it. He's like, yeah, I like the Polynesian people, the women, the children, they're great. But the SWAT teams, no way. Oh shit, Sting coloring contest rules. We need to enter the Sting coloring contest. Get a Sting watch. Ranger Ross Rott was arrested for robbing a bank in '96. Thank you, Viva La Fran. We're gonna say in rest in peace to a lot of folks on these shows, I have a feeling. Susie Animal. Ranger Ross used a motorbike as a getaway. Ranger Ross is like the new coolest wrestler. Why does every fucking candy commercial we watch have to end with somebody kissing someone else? Iron Sword. I feel, even though I've never heard of this game, I feel like I've played it. Because it looks like every fucking other game. Double Dragon, hell yeah. Hell yeah, Double Dragon ruled.
Thing to put you in a positive mood swing. Hey, I'm gonna be good. First, he turns on the.
Oh yeah, Half-Life Low. Half-Life Low. I have to train myself to not call you Flo. Your name is your High-Fly Low.
Then he turns up the heat with.
I need to do a deep cut short on Ranger Ross.
You'll be saying ooh too on the next Arsenio Hall Weekend Jam.
Oh, so they would do Arsenio Hall Weekend like recap shows. That's fun.
Joe is a down-and-out gambler.
Got the money.
What the fuck is that shot?
Down-and-out scientist.
Nothing. Always nothing.
Joe is, however, a first-class dreamer.
It's an intelligence signal. This is it. It's real.
But
in his dreams, he's a lover.
Want a piece of the action?
Oh, it's a Freddy Krueger movie. Freddy's Nightmares. That was straight up like a porn plot for the first 3/4 of it. I hate Jack in the Boxes so much because if you don't do them at the right speed, they sound bad.
Oh, hi, Paul. Yeah, I'm just finishing up here.
Yeah, the Sabu thing was really weird. Like I was just reading an old Observer, and Meltzer drops like, "Oh yeah, Sabu says that he was fired on the like he didn't find out he was fired. Though he's on the hotline." And then I looked up a couple of Sabu interviews, and he like confirmed, yeah, I had to call the hotline to find out I was fired.
Just a moment, Jimmy Jam. I'm going to be going up in the ring to talk to Captain Mike Rotunda and Norman.
The Captain Mike Rotunda.
Let's take a look at the match between Hawk and
Syndicated TV is something I'm sad like my kids' generation is losing out. It technically exists, but nobody's watching it. Is Teddy Long mic'd? That fucking dweeb, Chris Cruz, he's the worst. I wish Chris Cruz would friggin' drink baking soda. I don't want him to die, I just want him to, like, be very inconvenienced. Gross. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Like, yeah, Sean Ross Sapp will just fucking tweet you're fired these days. Back then, yeah, and it's not like he paid just the $2.99 for the 1 minute. It's at like the end of the report. The good stuff's at the end. You had to sit through me and Gene going like, yeah, the WWF did a blah 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 rating, blah blah blah, really slow. And then at the end, by the way, we fired Sabu's ass. What you get for showing back up in ECW.
is NWA wrestling right here, isn't it, Christian?
We had to work for it. We had to work for our news. We had to sneak behind our parents' backs and dial on a hotline. I had absentee parents. Not that they were like bad parents. They just had to work a lot. Of course I'm gonna call Mean Gene. I love Brian. Chris Cruz got multiple herniated discs from all the times he had to bend over because the boys would always dump his books. I imagine Chris Cruz had a backpack. He seems like a backpack guy. I've got my notes. I've got the Athletic Commission's phone number. Sabu picks up broken phone wire with crazy glue. I saw a meme. I think it was How To Wrestling tweeted it. It was like, doctors hate this one trick, and it's like Sabu putting together his bicep with crazy glue. Sushi X. That is a blast from the past. Hey, Midnight Fowler. See you in there. They're just, like, straight up re-airing a match from another show. That's another thing we're never gonna see anymore. Like, SmackDown's not going to open with, hey, let's watch this match from Raw last week. I can't. What is he? He's got a boxing glove. What was it supposed to be that it was loaded with? No! Chris Cruz shouting like he just watched a literal terrorist attack happen in the ring.
Here's your winner from the Team of Doom, Hacksaw.
The Team of Doom is such a great name for a tag team.
Well, so we're standing here with Captain Mike Rotunda and crew, and of course a big
crew.
Last week we had an opportunity.
I get that he has a weight problem, but that's mean. He has a name. It's Norman.
You wouldn't even tell the captain here what was in that box. Tell us right now. You told me now you were going to share it with us.
It was a nice big surprise, Lance Russell. It was Abdullah the Butcher who was in that box. The Boogeyman, Abdullah the Butcher, that's who was in there, and everybody was surprised to see him too.
I bet everybody was.
Yeah, like they would always say, like, if you get the boxing glove wet, it's like a brick. No, it's fucking not.
With you, Norman.
It's like a wet pillow.
Have the best reputation in the world. Maybe he's a guy that, you know.
Yeah, that is Bray Wyatt's father.
Really, Captain.
The Bray Wyatt doc on Peacock, by the way. Very emotional. Like the first half is like, oh, it's a WWE doc, and then the last half will just break it
I got
down.
everything in this bag I own. Everything I need.
Everything I own in that bag. I love that. So that should be somebody's gimmick these days. Just carrying around what they own in a bag.
You really need, Lance. Here's a roll of toilet paper for you, Lance.
And it's half used. And it looks like they re-rolled it. That's awesome. That's a real good attention to detail.
Of course, with Abdullah, and it occurs to me.
Yeah. Captain Mike's about a month away from his investments paying.
Into a six-man match where you're going to be partnering. How do you feel?
Captain Mike and Norman was supposed to be kind of a supposed to be kind of a Gilligan's Island thing.
Talk about the past because none of our paths are perfect.
They did not get a
When I
Marianne.
told Norman that I would go with him and be his partner, I made a decision to stand tall to all these kids across the United States.
He's cutting this serious promo while holding a little teddy bear. I love it. I love wrestling.
That the captain, Mike Rotunda, Norman, and the Boogeyman.
Didn't Bastion Booger and IRS team in a Survivor Series match? Like maybe the one. Is it the one against the Doinks? Maybe like '93.
We're going to have to keep an eye on it. Tell you what I'd like to do now. It's time for Castro's High Performance of the Week highlights, and this week the highlight: Doom.
It's Castro's High Performance.
Okay, guys, we'll cut the wraps with plaster of Paris. Okay, that makes sense.
Sugar Ray, Teddy Long's Team of Doom.
Hey, Scuffle and Hillbilly. I'm glad to see you're safe. Yeah, those tornadoes have been a motherfucker.
For the World's Tag Team Championship.
I cannot imagine being out there under those lights wearing a windbreaker.
It's Reed with a clothesline and Reed with a shoulder block. They're this week's Castro's High Performance of the Week.
And Doom ruled.
In today's higher revving and hotter running engines, where is a greater problem?
Okay, yeah, they were. Okay, so I was right. It was the doink match with the Men on a Mission, the Bushwhackers is doink.
That's why there's Castro.
Underrated match. I'm not gonna be here like, oh, it's the lost classic in wrestling history. But it's not the worst match of all time, like some people would say. Who's booking here? It's a committee. It's like Flair, Sullivan, I think Cornette's helping out. It's like 8 or 9 people in that room. Jim Ross. I will agree to disagree with you. I was gonna say, you said overrated. We're gonna fight here. Now Doom rules.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Seriously. Those suits were so high-tech for 1990. Yeah, Demon Horseman.
Hi, I'm Walt Maddox.
Oh, Walt Maddox. Gonna class the joint up.
However, today I'm going to talk to you about something very important. The kids at the YMCA. This year, the Y wants to wake up every kid.
Why are they caring?
Help them to grow.
You can't say, oh, they want to wake up the kids and then, like, all these kids are carrying a body.
I'm asking you to help.
Like, what class at the Y are they teaching hiding a corpse?
Partner with Youth Campaign when a volunteer calls.
Weeknights.
I'm just glad that wasn't sadder though.
Journeying into the 24th century with
it could have been very
Jean-Luc
sad.
Picard and Star Trek: The Next Generation. Then beam back to the 21st
I was never a
century
Star
with
Trek
Captain
guy.
Kirk and the crew of the USS Enterprise in
Oh my
Star
God,
Trek:
Mel
The Original
Phillips.
Series.
Oh, there's a name we haven't heard for a while.
Yeah, Walt's sitting there in like a really nice
on
tux.
WPTT-TV, Pittsburgh.
He's about to put on the Ritz. About to play some pool, do some trick shots.
The first alien born on Earth has come of age. We'll call him Adam.
Are they an alien if they're born on Earth?
But the games he plays are.
I don't think you're technically an alien if you're born on Earth.
Now Adam is leading the human children into the Eternal's grasp.
Let them go.
Can Suzanne stop the alien child on the next War of the Worlds?
Sunday.
Like, I know TV gets shit these days for being dark. But like, I could barely see anything in that commercial.
Introducing in the ring from Pensacola, Florida, weighing 230
Freedom?
pounds,
Rick Fargo. There's no way Rick Fargo didn't default on child support payments at some point in his life. I mean, but here's the thing. If both of your parents are aliens, they have to be like another species. If you're born here, you're that species. But you're not an alien. You're born here. First generation. You're not even a human. I mean, Troy Vang, I appreciate you backing me up, but I'm really weird. I don't know why I'm getting so worked up about this.
I can't believe we're gonna see that thing coming.
Like, I feel like I must look insane, screaming at my computer right now.
Rather, Rick told me that Alex had kind of been taking a vacation since he joined with his brother Scott. But
It's wild how Eddie Gilbert, the guy that worked Memphis for most of his career, is the one that looks way less sleazy.
Well, I think Z-Man and Flying Brian and the Steiners and Alex should all go on vacation forever.
But ow! Seriously, those ropes are so loud.
Rick Fargo took a shot from hot stuff. He ripped him with a right hand, no doubt about that.
Well, you know, this is going to be a good match.
Yeah, Eddie's like, I think in his like mid-20s here, which does not match how he appears.
A veteran like Eddie Gilbert, don't you think?
Very, very true. As Gilbert is the kind of guy we talked about
Gator
before.
Jungle Tigre.
Get out there and wrestle. Oh, look at this.
Oh, Rick Fargo appears to have snowflakes or cum shots or something on his tights. Watch those fists that are barely moving.
And he ripped him with that right hand.
Well, you know, Lance, I'll tell you, he'll think twice next time before he thinks about, you know, missing a punch like that.
I think this was when Eddie Gilbert was on the good stuff, because he was in the little tights. 38 special in a row.
Rick Fargo into the top turnbuckle.
Like, I'm pretty sure Rick Fargo has owned a semi-truck in his life.
And Eddie Gilbert continues to pour it on Rick Fargo.
Well, you know,
also, the people in the front row are like weirdly like set tight together. Like everyone's sitting with their arms at their sides like this, like looking like they can't move. And some guy's just recording. There's a guy with a video camera in the front row.
And it's going to be great. Folks, he's not going to be talking to
what the hell? Okay, hot shot, match over. Jeez. Somebody needs to like really work on that move, bring it back as a finisher. Like really make it look good. I can't get over it. There was just a dude video recording at a WCW TV taping in the front row on camera side. There's a cop sitting like 2 people over from him. And they're just like, yeah, whatever. Fargo's dad.
I want to tell you a story today. Where would you like to go?
All right, Sullivan Slaughterhouse.
Take me to Asia. Certainly, Cactus Jack, because one time when I went to Tibet,
yeah, Eddie Gilbert did do jobs for WWE. It was like 83, 84 maybe. He wasn't there by the time like Mania happened.
But I transcended.
He's very young looking.
Jack, because when I went to Tibet and met with the
Mick Foley always wore very sensible sweaters for a guy who did like a crazy event.
Pleasure. Do you understand what I'm talking about?
Yeah, Rick Fargo's gonna be bruised up at the pawn shop tomorrow.
Talking about Cactus Jack. The pain should give you goose pimples. And see, Captain.
Did Jack put like dirt on his face? Or is that just like the coloring from his...
We like to get beat, we like to get slapped, and we like to dish it out. Norman, Captain Mike, and Abdul.
Yeah, that guy's gonna go in the Observer's Letters section. Hey, I have this real great WCW show that's already aired on television, but hey, it's from my seat. The Cactus Jack Manson.
And he's 230 pounds of solid muscle and raw nerve. His objective.
Oh shit, American Gladiators.
And he is only one of 8 American Gladiators.
Also, they should have said he was bigger than 230. Like Nitro could have passed for at least 230.
He's no pushover.
I will be back, Eldon.
I will be back elderly? That's the weirdest threat I've ever heard. I'm gonna be back when I'm really old. I'm gonna haunt you, mother.
Now its terror is reaching a new dimension.
Like, that was the most effective wrestling vignette I've seen in months. And it's not a wrestling show. Everybody on American Gladiators admitted to being, or at least that would speak publicly for the documentaries, admitted to being on coke. Yes. And there's footage of them all coked up in at least the Netflix doc.
This is Inside Outside Pittsburgh, a public service presentation of WCW
Inside Outside
Television
Pittsburgh, that
22.
sounds
And now here's Tom
gross.
Jones of the Older Adult Employment Program.
Are you unemployed or underemployed? 45 or older?
Charisma!
Allegheny County? If the answer is yes to all of these questions,
Alden Kid was a contender who would eventually be known to someone who would help undocumented people cross the Mexican border. Good for him.
Provides job placement assistance to those in need of help.
Hey, Speedy.
OAEP is constantly in touch with...
Yeah, the American Gladiators doc on Netflix is really good. The 30 for 30 is good. It just, I think it gets a little too in the weeds at some points.
Which is sponsored by Allegheny County's Department of Federal Programs, also is free to employers and benefits them by offering a pool of mature...
Is this guy alive?
And the possibility of 50% wage subsidies to employers who are willing to provide on-the-job training. The older adult employment
Wanna like use the
may be
blue
just
screen to
the
like
answer
put a
for you.
penis
If
behind
you'd
him
like
or
more
something.
information, call 281-4658.
The older adults.
Next time on an all-new episode of Star Trek: The Next
I wish I
Generation,
could grow a pencil
Captain
mustache. I
Picard's
could grow. This is like
kidnapped and
5 days
replaced by an alien
growth.
imposter.
That's not the captain I know.
By
while the real captain is trapped with savage prisoners.
Yeah, monster.
The imposter is leading the ship into disaster.
You are endangering this ship for no reason.
On an all-new episode of Star
1990 AI. Yeah, his mouth's just moving. It's one of those videos like, click like if you love your parents. Click share if you hate Jesus. Battle Dome ruled. We watched a Battle Dome episode on here last year. Parker Pappas. Look at very weird body hair like pattern on that dude. So for those of you who don't know, the Alex they keep referring to is Rick Steiner's hand. They drew a hand on Rick Steiner, and that was his manager and his best friend for a while. Here's the thing, my wife is so happy that I can't grow facial hair or body hair. I would love to be a beard guy. I don't have the face to pull off flesh.
Which one of these wrecked up crews is going to get the rest of me this time? I got Ricky Crew 2 and I got Ricky Crew 2. I don't matter who comes in there trying to be with me, but I'm going to beat one of you.
I didn't understand half the words he said. Scott's already torn his bicep. Like, yeah, the fact that I don't know who this guy, like he wasn't a regular enhancement guy and he's in there with Scott Steiner tells me he's about to get his neck broken.
Look at Scott Steiner. What a powerful young man. And this is a good
Alex, I think Alex was the name of his dog too. Yeah.
Not only is excellent with brother Rick, but he is some kind of single wrestler too. This Parker Pappas, a big guy going for a...
It's wild that like the smallest version of Scott Steiner's already tearing all of the muscles in his body. Oh jeez. That's not how you're supposed to slam someone into a turnbuckle. Oh jeez. Hey, Incident 73, hello.
I'll bet that is the living proof. Look at Rick Steiner helping him back. Oh, that's one way.
Was that the Mighty Igor who did the hand thing?
Lift along the way to help him out. In the air and on the shoulder of Scott Steiner. Setting up on that top turn.
I'm loving the little fringe on this dude's tights. Like, he wanted something cool, but he didn't want something too flashy. Oh, jeez! That man died. Like he was trying to dive through the boards in the ring. Bugsy McGraw sounds right, too. Bugsy McGraw, very underrated promo. Like, if you're not familiar with Bugsy McGraw promos, go watch him on YouTube. So charismatic. Oh! Yeah, Scott Steiner just kind of invented moves. Yeah, that mix right. Like, there are definitely matches where, like, he'll like, grab an arm and grab a leg and be like, what am I doing? And then just throw a guy. And he's strong enough that he can do it. Watch this. This is awful. This is, oh my, oh! Okay, he rolled through. Why show the replay where it looks safe? Like he rolled, he did, he got over. Parker Pompous would have been in great wrestling. The main event is coming up next. See, this is going to be a good match.
This weekend, we were supposed to take up a new sport.
Those are hard to talk shit about.
Boy, I was really looking forward to hanging off an 8,000-foot cliff by my fingernails. Then I found out I could get a free game of bowling and a chance to win up to $100,000 in the A&W Road to Riches sweepstakes. So this weekend, it's A&W root beer and cream soda, our favorites, and some real fun bowling.
Next weekend, skydiving!
What? This guy seems very passive-aggressive towards his family. This week is root beer and bowling.
Instant muscle monster total package Lex Luger. Mr. Total, what's on your
Mr. Total. Why is he like ripping down a box, the punching bag? At least this makes sense. Also, they should have called the Road Warriors Mutant Psycho Savages. That sounds really cool.
Shoes for your feet, pockets for your stuff.
On Friday the 13th, the series.
Yeah, that bowling guy, he was a method actor, I feel like. I feel like he got married to somebody he hated just to nail that role. Ruse looked very comfortable, I'm not gonna lie. I like the idea of having pockets in my feet.
A curse that must be stopped.
He wrote it and then it happened.
The pen of death.
Isn't this just Death Note? I know Death Note came after Friday the 13th.
Sunday on WPTT's Weekend Cinema Showcase at noon.
Sunday
takes off on a solitary journey and discovers the true value of a good home in Freedom. At 2, a crooked romance begins when a con man goes for a fatally ill woman in Till We Meet Again. And at 4,
fatally
John
ill?
Garfield is a fighter who works his way to the top of the heap in the classic boxing film Body and Soul. Tune in and enjoy Sunday's
Like,
Weekend Cinema Showcase.
that movie looks very funny, but also, like, the time between Body and Soul being released and, like, when this aired is, like, between, like, now and, like, 1990. Like, I thought that was Death Note. Got knockoff Ruse. Like, this isn't even a song, they're just kind of, like, tapping a xylophone, I feel like. Look at this cop behind Fatu here. The Doug Dillinger's power tripping, you can tell. Getting to tell all these other cops what to do.
You know, you took the words right out of my mouth, Lance. 595 pounds of wild Samoan. That is
These guys rule. Like,
There's a lot of thought going into this by the champions themselves. Talking about Brian and Z. They don't approach it lightly.
like, I know Rikishi's the big Fatu run, the big money run. God, this era, like from like 89 through like 93, 94, so good. He moves so well. Z-Man and Flying Brian. You know, it's because of Brian Pillman's balls that we have to put up with Lexus King. For that, he should have been castrated. That sounds mean, but it's Lexus King. Yeah, Doug Dillinger was a cop. I think he was like a sheriff in North Carolina. Yeah, this is the point, Soggy Hydrox, where like, they're called the Samoan SWAT team sometimes. They're called the Wild Samoans other times. And then there's other times where they're just the Samoans. Yeah, Yokozuna, I think, was working the AWA as Kukina at this point. Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, Doug Dillinger's a cop in like name only. Like he's the guy that you like hire to like drive around an apartment complex for an hour just to make sure nobody's like outside, I don't know, smoking weed. Typical lazy cop bullshit. Willie Zoot, thank you for cheering once again. Satan and headbanging and all that stuff. It would have been dope if Van Hammer just eventually became a Satanist. That would have been a dope turn for the character. Like a major stash.
I'll tell you what, speaking about their record, you know, you mentioned that they've never been beat on TV. Kind of reminded me of like Michael and I. You know, we've never been beat on TV either. Okay, you don't have to get into it. You don't have to.
Yeah, Dillinger's definitely a free food cop. He's a free food cop. He's not the type of cop that stops you from bootlegging in the crowd. Listen to how loud this building is. People are into this. Hootin' and hollering. They're hooting. They are hooting. Not so much hollering. They're more stomping than hollering. Yoko had a match with Andre in 92 in Mexico. He had one with Sergeant Slaughter that's on YouTube. From like 90 that I watched recently. Thank you, Cajun Jungle Taker. It was fun. And Bill DeMott reached out to me about the Van Hammer thing. And he was like, if you ever want me to just like go off about how much I hate Van Hammer, I'd be more than happy to like do an interview. I'm like, I don't do interviews, but thanks. Oh, cool. Miami native incident 73. I love wrestling. In wrestling, you could just get away with being like, yeah, this is 600 pounds of wild carcass. Like, imagine if like NBA commentary was like, yeah, that's 350 pounds of wild Shaq. What? These fans are pissed at these Samoans. That's the cool thing about the Samoans at this time, whether it be like here or like the Islanders in the WWF, they got to actually have personalities that weren't like, meat, nobody really looks like Van Hammer apart from DDP Bryan because he doesn't look human. Like, I saw some recent pictures from like the last 5 years of Hammer. He literally looks more like an alien than that kid from the commercial that I argued is not an alien because he was born on Earth. Hey, Rack Diesel. Yes, this is Zeman and Pillman against the Midnight Express feud era. Yeah, head shrinkers are super underrated. They have some of the best squash matches in TV wrestling history. Hey, Adam. Yeah, Doug Dellinger is Paul Blart. I'm surprised, like, somebody at the end of WCW didn't give him, like, a mall cop thing. Like, I know mall cops weren't, like, quite a funny joke yet, but I'm sure Doug Dellinger has multiple times pitched. What if I do this on TV? Like, hey, I'll go to the power plant if you guys want me to wrestle. I'll do it, I promise.
A tag. Here comes Flying Brian. Axe handles right across the upper arm. Turns it over.
Yeah, that Fat 2 top rope splash of the 3 did a couple times is the craziest shit.
I couldn't believe it, but Tom Zink actually thought of something and arm dragged the guy.
Z-Man out. Flying Brian in. Hanging on tight at that wrist. Look out.
Always love when wrestlers do this. I know it's like cueing, like, hey, let's move on to the next thing, but it's just funny. Ow, it hurts so much, I'm gonna slap it.
Boy, what a shot. Well, you know what power they have behind them when they throw a chop or when they throw a headbutt like that, Lance.
Ooh, Brian taking the hard way out of the ring.
Brian knows it down on the floor. He's followed there and back after him on the floor. The referee hollering. Get him back.
Referee is hollering. Crowd's not hollering, again, they're hooting, stomping. Referee is hollering. That's right, WCW Backstage Assault, where Doug Dillinger gonna stand like this and wrestle, yeah.
Flying Brian, I think he might have some kind of something in his boots. Yeah, he does. Spring around like that. I can't believe he's springing up in the air.
Yeah, super. It is weird. Like, everybody got to be a character at the end of WCW. Like, Doug Dillinger's the one employee that didn't, like, at least become like a manager. Like, the ring truck guy became one of the most memorable characters of the era. Breakfast. I love that spot. They would do it on house shows. That was a head trigger spot on a lot of house shows in the WWF too. I've seen some fan cams. Probably from that guy in the front row. But like, they would like tease, oh, we're gonna fight, and the crowd would go fucking crazy. This match is good so far. Yes, Peter Crawford. Good stuff. These people love Brian Pillman, and they hate these Samoans. Too much speed out of Z. I love Lance Russell calling him Z. His first name is Z. Buddy Lee Parker, I believe, was in Mayhem. Peter Crawford. I think like him and Bobby Blaze did mocap for Mayhem, so they got to be in the game.
No question about it. That Samoan sidekick throttled flying Brian.
Oh, I bet you anything, Doug Dillinger has heat with the Atlas security guys. Like they would like pop up, like on the like one night stand, and like show up in like the video packages. Everyone like reminiscing about ECW. And Doug Dillinger's like, why not me? Is it because I lost Bret Hart's jacket? Hey, Rowan Fresh, feeling erotic, much like Mr. Fontaine himself. Dude, Alpha throwing Samu into the Rumble by his hair was a dope entrance. Cajun drink with Tigger. Oh, yeah. I hate that MMA killed the throat thrust. Nobody does the throat thrust anymore. Yeah, nobody was thrilled with how everybody met at Squared Circle. Again, I told the story on Twitter. I love it. Ultimo Dragon didn't think that like this little kid would know who he was, and then Noli like drops knowledge about the friggin' J Crown. He's like, this kid knows me. I'm like, hell yeah. And he loved getting to hold the TNA World Tag title, which you facilitated, Jonathan. And getting to meet Brian Myers.
Pressure points on each side of the neck.
Well, you know, Lance, he probably wanted to get up real bad, but you know, after taking those chops like that and that headbutt and everything.
Yeah, WCW was hoarding all of the territory's best commentators at this point. Like, frickin' Lance Russell doing B shows. Yeah, I forgot to mention that. Yeah, Jonathan. So, my son Noli, his fucking wrestling name is Amazing Dragon. It's from Ultimo Dragon. Like, I'm raising such a little wrestling man. Yeah, I see that. Yeah, Brenda, because I see the little crumpled up white. Are they like drinking wine samples in the crowd? Seriously, how many matches at WrestleMania this weekend are going to have the heat of this random ass Samoans versus Z-Man and Flying Brian match? Or is it Z? That's awesome, Jonathan. Very cool. So yeah, everyone, after you're done watching this, go check out the Major Wrestling Figure Pods Squared Circle Expo vlog. Colt Cabana, Hooligan, Big Sweetheart. When Noli went up to Cabana, Cabana got tipped off by a friend of ours that Noli has been watching those Maven videos, and he was very into the one where Maven like teaches you how to make a blade, like a gig. And Cabana's like, "Hey kid, you got a gig?" And Noli was very tickled by that. Hey, referee Vinny Lax. Yeah, Dragon Sleeper rules, and it's very simple. Just put a guy under your armpit. Bootleg guy in the front row is hooting and hollering. Hey, Stephen J. Neptune, man. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate you bringing the flat soda and stale crackers. Have a seat. Join the chat. We're having fun. I used to have Galoobs. Peter, I had Sting, I had Luger, I had Flair, I had Barry, Sid, Steiners, and Ron Simmons. And then my mom got rid of them when I went to college. And they were worthless anyway. I when I was a kid, I would color red marker all over them. It was like I ran a damn deathmatch fed. Love Z-Man here. Like making different faces for like every second that he's in the hold.
Everybody's writing and saying how they would wish the Wild Samoans would beat Flying Brian and Z-Man and win that.
Like now the cop's gonna go talk to people in the front row, not when the guy's recording the damn show. This is oh, throat thrusts again. I hate that MMA is like made people super like hyper realistic focused striking or whatever. Like we need throat thrusts back in our wrestling.
And he catches him with a clothesline and Z out on the floor. Brian trying to get the referee. Go get him back there. Whoa.
Well, you know, Lance, Z-Man is making a few mistakes
Z-Man.
tonight, and I think he's going to learn from his mistakes.
Very cool mask too. Yeah, I had Run. I don't know why I didn't have Butch.
The mistake they made was not bringing a
Z-Man can just be on the belly of the dolls. That's a good one, Sluggy Hedricks. I'm a big fan of that kind. Oh, a lot of feet showing. Don't give those away for free. Rubbing that armpit all up in Z-Man's face. I've talked about it many a time. Scuffle and Hellbilly, thank you so much for the sub. I never beg for them, but I always say it's like my Deca. I put them in a syringe, shove them up my butt. Give me strength. An Elegante Mattel would be fantastic. And the thing is, I think it could happen with some of the stuff they're putting out. Like, we're getting a UWF Bubba Rogers. And nerve holds. Again, another thing MMA killed. I don't see enough nerve holds. Every once in a while, somebody will do it. For the most part, it's not realistic enough. Well, I think we're getting an Elite Bull Nakano. I think it's coming. I think she's going to be in the video game next year. I think she's getting a figure. Thank you so much for the kind words, Scuffle and Hillbilly. By the way, no off the grid this week because of WrestleMania. I'll be back the following Sunday. So, there's a programming note there. That's true of Commodore Amigo. Yeah, one of the heads is big. I like that they do that with some of the elites. Like, they give you parts so you can make other eras of the wrestler. Like the Sid that comes with the cloth singlet, and then you could take it off, and he's like tights, like Trunk Sid. I'm with you, Russ's Wizards. Just fucking claw home. Like, Satnam Singh should be crushing everybody's head in AEW. Jimmy Garvin is the guy that started the WrestleMania song. Are you guys ready for the Survivor Series? Seriously, that's one of the coolest things that came out of the Hidden Gem section of the WWE Network, was finding that random thing out. I'm sure that'll happen with the major boys. We'll get a Bone Cruncher. I saw they had the Bone Cruncher Ultimo Dragon set up at Squared Circle Expo this weekend. And I got to see it, and it looks really good. Like, Ultimo's green gear is some of the most toyetic wrestling gear ever. I did see the Billy Graham Harley Race Gorilla and Muhammad Ali 4-pack. I think that Gorilla looks great.
You're right, he has no business in there. Z-Man has no business in there.
Over the top rope should be an automatic disqualification.
Boom. Don't do that shit to a Samoan. Wait, did Nick Patrick call it? Was that the bell? That's cause for disqualification. You push the referee. Not when you both headbutt a dude. Yeah, the Legends of Lucha Ultima's dope too. Again, that green gear that he has, you can't make a bad figure. Just the colors pop so well. Yes, I love Lance Russell. Like, he's enough of a car salesman that it adds some drama to it, but he's sincere enough that you believe him. Is the best. I think he's my favorite ring announcer of all time.
It's going to be the year of the Soul Brothers, Butch Reed and Ron Simmons, better known as Doom.
Oh, yeah.
And it's also going to be my year because I'm going to be the proud holder of the World Tag Team title.
I overheard Teddy Long this weekend. I was walking by his booth at Sports Circle Expo. I overheard him tell somebody that John Laurinaitis was a racist cracker.
Another thing I've been able to ask you. Did you ever catch that hawk that's been stealing your chicken? I clipped his wing, and guess what else? I pulled his head off.
That's a threat. That's a very violent threat.
It's not like algebra. It's not like cleaning your room.
I would hope not.
Homework. It's one thing you do just for kicks. Solid caramel.
Oh, that said kinks? For a second, I'm like, alright. To each their own.
Twix. Now, chew on that. Oh, yeah.
Since the beginning of time, Satan has worked to create the perfect killer. One who kills many without reason. One who cannot be stopped.
American Gladiators. No. That would have been such a good origin story for the Gladiators. They were actually created by Satan in the image of like the perfect American male and female to like
start Friday, April 6th.
To like trick us into loving them. Funky Penguin commercial. Oh, boo! Penguin's telling us to go to school. I don't want to go to school. I'm gonna skip. I'll watch Price is Right. What do you know about going to school? You're a freaking penguin.
You want to be cool? Stay in school.
You live in a tundra.
You're the one who's going to make the decision whether to beam down or not.
I would have probably watched Star Trek if they played more of this type of music.
Tune in on time for Star Trek, the original series, weeknights at
We
7
did
on
some
WCW
weird shit to
DEEP
try to get kids
CUTS
to
22.
not do drugs and die back in the day.
Next week on WPTT's 8 o'clock movies, Monday, L.A. Law's Harry Hamlin tries to break up a relationship in Making Love.
Harry Hamlin.
Tuesday, Lee Majors heads the
Young
ultimate
man
Viking
stop.
adventure in The Northman. Wednesday, it's a funny game of musical affairs as Shirley MacLaine stars in A Change of Seasons. Thursday, breaking the speed limit was just the beginning with Jeff Bridges in Hard Driver.
Hard
Friday,
Drive.
James Stewart stars in
It's
After
about
the
his
Man.
boner.
Tune in for the 8 o'clock movies all next week on WPTT TV, Pittsburgh's 22.
Again, I also miss the days of 8 o'clock movies.
By the following.
When you have
A lot of people probably watch
cough or a
those.
stuffy nose, come to the Halls of Medicine. To
The
feel
Halls of
better fast,
Medicine.
use Halls. For fast relief of acid indigestion, use 1,000 milligrams
Yeah, that's a
strong
good point.
extra
Little kids
strength
don't have the
Flonase,
money to go
the only
get
antacid in
weed.
an assortment of mint flavors.
I don't know about you, my allowance when I was a kid was like
Revenge for your
$1.
Nintendo Entertainment System, the blockbuster arcade hit.
You don't get weed for $1.
Double Dragon 2, The Revenge.
This edition of the
Yeah, Reese's
NWA
peanut butter
Pros
cups are
brought
the
to you in part by
best.
Castrol
I'm not a candy guy, but I like Reese's peanut butter cups. Castrol GTX. Motor oil, you can buy it at grocery store.
Was Jimmy Jam, but it was Z-Man and Flying Brian hanging on to those great U.S. tag titles. Okay, right now we want to take a look at next week. We have
Jimmy Garvin with a run sheet is very
phone
funny.
Call to make. I got the phone ready, I got the number ready, and I'm ready to dial, baby.
And Michael's in jail. We have to bail him
You've been
out.
telling people that all day. Oh, what is this? Last week you had your makeup artist. Now you've got your phone girl out here.
You know what it's like when you're the greatest rock band in the world, right?
Yeah, I know all about that. Let me tell you about that. Will you put the phone down and quit kidding that?
I'm busy.
Your neighbor that ate Halls like candy? I hate to say it, Cage Gray.
Next week, we're
probably
gonna be
took
looking
other things
forward
like
to seeing
candy.
Rick Steiner
No one
involved
accused.
in a one-on-one match with one of the Minnesota Wrecking Crew. What are you doing now?
What are you
No,
doing?
Hey, will you quit that stuff? This guy. Hey,
This
in addition to
guy.
that, can you be quiet? Can I be quiet? Will you quit?
You know, years ago I heard somebody say that Lance Russell's character in Memphis Wrestling, he was Kermit the Frog running the Muppet Show. And it's like perfect. He's the one sane guy trying to keep these lunatics together long enough to make a show, put on a show.
Oh, hey, look.
Oh, I love Lance Russell.
We gotta get out of here. We'll see you now. No, we gotta go.
You gotta go. All right, we're just gonna go straight to the next episode. I had an interlude, but I'll hit that at the end. Quite the promo from Rick Steiner. Very jealous, Fire Pro Spooky. That fanny pack looks dope.
Engineered for today's smaller cars. Well, sir, in just a moment, we're going to be seeing that big...
Jimmy's got a much nicer jacket this week.
Rick Steiner against one of the Minnesota Wrecking Crew, and that'll be coming up. Hello again, everybody. Lance Russell and Jimmy Jam Garvin. You know, I got to tell you the honest truth, Jimmy Jam. I'm surprised to see you here after that phony Sting phone call.
Well, let me tell you something.
After that phony Sting phone call that I exposed, waving around the cord.
Last week when you unplugged the phone on me, right when I was getting
Also, they didn't give these guys like a stage or anything. They're just standing behind the crowd. So yeah, Rick Steiner's gimmick was that he was not a smart guy. They say the best gimmicks are based on like real life turned up to 10.
Today's the day anyway.
It was a pretty good gimmick.
I know I shouldn't.
Gonna be freaking Garvin. Yes, with the. I see it. I definitely see where you're going for. So yes.
That don't believe the fabulous Freebirds are the greatest rock and roll band in the world today. With the #1 hit.
Also, I'm a big fan of him wearing that jacket with a plain black T-shirt underneath.
In America or the world, as far as that goes, is footage from the live concert from Munich, the Freebird Fantasia, Utopia.
And I don't want to imagine Michael Hayes running free in Munich.
Live.
Will you stop that stuff? You know you don't have
What do you mean gimmick? Exactly. Also, shout out to my SSRI gang, taking my meds for the night.
We'll see. I want to get egg on your face again. Right now, we're going to take.
I want to get egg on your face. And nobody ever talks about that. The Varsity Club gimmick wasn't a departure for Sullivan. He was just pretending to not be Satan to convince these dumb jocks who join his Satanist cults.
And wouldn't it be great if all
It has layers.
beer in a store, announcing Keystone's Dream Den giveaway. Just go to a store, find Keystone.
Just go to a store, buy as much beer as humanly possible,
Hello to this big screen TV.
and then you'll be so drunk that you'll forget that we did not put anything in the case for you to win the contest. That damn 7-Up dot.
What's it take to win in college basketball? What's it take to win in 7-Up's college basketball championship game? That hard work could win you a limited edition Ford Mustang or a chance at prizes worth $20 million. So start practicing. 1 in 12 are winners.
This weekend, the word on Late Night Cool is out.
Just Keystone like good points.
Let's get busy, okay?
First, get an earful from.
And I'm a big fan of the Arsenio Hall recap
session with rapper Ice-T, along with Team Trekkie Will Wheaton.
You can't keep nothing a secret on the Paramount lot.
Plus,
I'm sorry, I disrespected the Dons. I'm sorry.
It'll be a wild time.
I do remember the video game. We used to just make video games for every IP. Every one of them.
WPTT's Weekend Cinema Showcase brings you comedy and suspense. At noon, you'll die laughing with Richard Pryor and Dom DeLuise as they keep the mob
I
on their
will.
toes. The laughter
Will
and
die
bullets
laughing
fly in
with
the
Dom
crazy
DeLuise.
gangster comedy, The Busybody. At 2, Don Amici is trying everything to drive his wife insane. Will he resort to murder? Enjoy the thrilling Sleep, My Love.
There's the song The
Tune in to Weekend Cinema
Jam,
Showcase, Saturday
The
beginning
Busybody,
at 6
and Sleep My Love.
WPTV, Pittsburgh's 22.
The kitchen sink zone.
I'm not surprised that there's a prototype Pringles game for Genesis.
Unless you take the proper
I'm surprised the government didn't make like a milk game.
interesting bottles. So keep them out of reach and always secure the
Like a
valves
funky
of
like
caps.
milk
Keep
jug
poisonous
with like
substances
arms
in
and
illegal
legs.
containers. Don't take
Saves
medicine in
the
front of children.
world.
They imitate grown-ups. Have syrup.
I remember the
the
Chester Cheetah game. I played that
and
one.
keep the number of the poison center nearby.
There was an NES game for the
Safe, not sorry. in the
Pittsburgh
kitchen
Poison
sink
Center. That sounds like a tag team.
Wrestling fans, the following six-man tag team event. It is set for one fall. Introducing team number 1, all from the island of Samoa.
All from the island of Samoa. And this is that period where like you would turn on WCW TV and you would never know which Samoans would be there. Sometimes it'd be Tama and Fatu. Sometimes it'd be Samu and Tama. Here you got all this. Look at that. Seriously, how did Fatu never get like a scary heel? He got the a did it for the Rock run, but not like nothing like this.
Jimmy Jam, you need to take him aside and dress his hair up.
Like Brett should have had like a real run against one of the head shrinkers during his world title runs. We're getting a rematch, but this time they recruited a friend in small tights, a friend in little tiny trunks, that being Eddie Gilbert, who just stole somebody's hat. Like some fan paid for that Sting hat at ringside. And Eddie Gilbert's like, fuck you. Nope. And then I'm sure the kid went to the cops and were like, hey mister, can I have my hat back? And they're like, shut up, kid.
Well, you know, Lance, I guess we better hold on to our headsets because this one here is really going to be some action. There's no doubt about it. The Wild Samoans, Brian Z-Man, and Eddie Gilbert. It's going to be a match to watch. Well,
another thing I love about WCW in this era is they didn't have like a uniform ring canvas, ring rope color scheme. It would just be whatever was in the town that they were taping in.
I don't know whether this is going to have any effect on the sixth man or not, Jimmy.
Okay, Eddie took it. Eddie took back the hat. Good, Eddie.
Saturday, May the 19th. That's out of Washington, D.C.
He had lies. Here you go, kid. Your whole class is
One match already signed for that is the Samoans going for the U.S. Tag.
Yeah, we have the Samoans against the tiny little trunk boys.
You have your tickets for that event.
Yeah, that kid has that Memphis lice. It's pretty bad.
You're out peddling tickets on the side now. Is that what Jimmy Jam is doing?
Everyone in this match is great. I like Tom Zankhorn.
I got my tickets Saturday, May 19th at DC Army. I'm gonna get there early. Sign autographs and stuff.
Yeah. Whoa! Right off the
Whoa! You can tell that Lance Russell was a radio DJ. He'll just make noises sometimes. Be like, yep, you know, you introduced to many songs by the Big Bopper. I can tell. And Nick Patrick has this, which means somebody's going to like commit murder, and it will just be
something in his boots that makes him spring that high. Boy, he does spring high and coming right in behind.
They did say May 19th.
The U.S. Tag Title. Z-Man, Tom Zink hooks that arm over and down he goes, and they tie it up, standing side headlock. Zink, a really good big athlete. Whoa!
Really good big athlete, they say, is they like stumble over each other.
He made the move and made it too quick. Well, you know, he's okay, Lance. I wouldn't get too carried away as far as saying how great he is and stuff.
I love it. I love when heels tell you to shut up. There's nothing better than when a heel just yells out in the air, shut up.
The third man coming in now. Hot stuff, Eddie Gilbert.
Hot stuff, Eddie Gilbert. That tanning bed aged him so bad. Tanning bed in the hairline, he does not look a day under 40.
Well, you know, he can hang with the best of them, Lance. Eddie Gilbert's been around a long time, and his father.
Like, Eddie Gilbert is like hot dog color. And he's got the little things, the little shaves, the line shave. It's adorable. I'm sure Eddie left the barber that day like, guys, I am cool. I'm hip. I'm with it. I am 1990.
Ever performed in Germany? I'm telling you, the footage you're about to see. I'm talking about 500 laser lights, 36 cameras. You know,
You say they had 536 cameras? That's
you got in trouble over that one other time. Well, I smoothed that over. Z-Man taking that risk.
Z-Man. Hey, Stephen J. Neptune. I'm glad to see you in the chat. Yeah, Eddie Gilbert. Masterful. I think he's a babyface here just because he's small. Like, I think that's what they were like. Oh, he's a small guy. He has to be a babyface. Oh, I love a good Samoan super kick.
Popped him right under the chin. Right in behind.
Also, I think it was because Flair didn't like him and figured him as a babyface is like the worst use of him.
Well, the Samoans are doing a great job.
Andre the Giant was born on May 19th. They should have, I'm telling you, WrestleMania Sunday. What I would do in the Cody Roman match, I would have everybody running. I'd have Pharaoh running. I'd have The Rocks. I would have Rock. I'd have Usos. I'd have all those people. Austin, Cena, Vin Diesel. And then that's when they debut the first hologram wrestler. You have Andre do a run-in as a hologram and help Cody win.
He isn't out of it by a long time. Well, you have that right. You know, Eddie Gilbert should have never been in there in the first place. But as you notice here,
this is why they never hired him. There we go. This is going to be sick. Not quite as sick as I thought it'd be, but still cool. I thought the camera operator was wearing gray sweatpants. Those are slacks.
They chicken leg spring, flying Brian.
Eddie Gilbert does kind of have an Anderson-esque look to him here. I agree with you, Soggy Hydrox. Another nerve hold.
When you were a kid on the playground, somebody.
You know what? Yeah, hologram Andre stops Cody from finishing the story, and then Cody wrestles hologram Andre. And you bring up that picture of Andre and Dusty in the bathroom playing grab ass. It's gone around. That's gone around the internet throughout the years. Do it to it, man.
Backbreaker, here he comes.
Backbreaker, here he comes.
Well, now the question is, who's going to get to the corner first? And as you see, it's the Samoans, but no, Brian makes the tag, and Eddie Gilbert.
I'm a big fan of when the heels like, I'm gonna come and the babyface gets a hot tag, and there's like Lucille Bluth whenever Jean Parmesan shows up.
Eddie Gilbert and all of the Samoans, not as many as there were in there as they're thrown out.
Oh, I'm sure in the next, if it doesn't happen this year, sometime in the next 10 years, we're getting a hologram wrestler. Like it just seems like that's where we're going. Samoans win, and they pin Eddie, of course. Flair liked the other two. Your winners, Samoans, like all of them? Like the whole country?
I'm telling you, he was not the legal man. Now watch Hot
I'm
Stuff
telling you,
coming from the
that was
outside.
dope.
Well, he should have been paying attention. Obviously, Hot Stuff wasn't paying attention. And see what it got him? It got him beat.
Nick Patrick, of course, he counted the illegal man. Also, that's a weird way to, he's like counting with his
I got a
wrist.
couple of
Like
things
that.
to say. Number one, Sting, I want you to know that if you show up again, do one of those impromptu advertisements or whatever you call it.
What?
You better watch
It was
out
impromptu,
for the
like he's,
Wrecking Crew, too.
hey, I'm Sting and I'm here for Sulson Blue. Get the fuck out of here.
Longer now, a few more minutes, right on the show, right here. Everybody's going to get a chance to see you in a single. No excuses. Rick Steiner and one of the Minnesota Wrecking Crew, too. Get ready. It won't be much more time.
And another thing, you kids, get off my damn lawn. Nick Patrick is outside the ring because he is a bad referee.
This weekend,
He's a very bad referee.
mountain climbing. Yeah, boy, I was
Here comes this guy who hates his wife once again. I think Hogan would put over hologram Hogan.
And a chance to win
I
up
think
to
he'd think it was cool
$100,000
enough to
in
do
the
that.
A&W Road to Riches sweepstakes. So this weekend, it's A&W root beer and cream soda, our favorites, and some real fun bowling.
Next weekend,
Because Hulk would get the royalties from it regardless.
Look for the A&W free bowling display.
Whoa, doggy, down, doggy, a half dozen dogs, hot dogging, doing
I always thought this was a funny commercial.
So what dog face Rick Steiner wear on his dogs? Rude, rude, shoes for your feet, pockets for your stuff.
Also, the voiceover announcer did a great job on the rooster.
Night Watch. New Oxy Night Watch works all night to unclog pores and help prevent pimples. So don't put out the light.
We're obsessed
till
with
you
putting
put on the
random
Night Watch.
creams on our
Next
faces.
time,
Now we
an
just
all-new
like
episode of Star Trek, The Next
do whatever
Generation.
TikTok
The
says,
Captain's Holiday
or
becomes a
skincare.
romantic adventure.
Back then, it was like whatever this chemical is in this oxy container.
Him on a quest to
Ugh.
find a weapon from the future.
Perhaps I should kill you and then take the disc.
But if it falls into enemy hands, it could spell disaster. You will return.
That's an alien from
on an all-new
space.
episode of Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Tonight at 7 on
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, dogs promoting a shoe brand based on kangaroos.
Lisa's babysitting for the Burdens. They're really nice folks.
This is literally a fucking porn
And
plot.
they only have 2 rules.
Make sure William is in bed by 10 o'clock.
Under no circumstances are you to open
That's my alarm system going
Lisa's
off.
got her
This
work
is
cut out
my
for
life.
her.
No break-ins.
Baker's man, catch a babysitter fast as I can.
On Freddy's Nightmare.
Yeah, all of the Freddy's Nightmares plots are just like porn, but the part where they have sex, murder happens instead.
And he's had all these ear infections. Seems like every month he gets another one. And he coughs all the time.
This doctor's like,
anything to do
this
with
child doesn't have a heartbeat.
Do you smoke?
And the child's like, yeah, I'm a zombie, yeah. And then he eats his
Causes
brain.
pneumonia, nasal congestion,
Mom's like, fuck,
asthma,
my kid's
and other
not
health
alive.
problems in children. Give them breathing room.
Fuck!
Call now.
Another zombie!
Help you break your
Crushes
smoking
her purse.
habit.
Syndicated TV, yes. It's the
We
best.
still got Rick Steiner, Midnight
Kids
Express,
don't know
rock and roll, but
what they're
right
missing.
now I want to end this once and for all. You're talking about the tape. Okay, now's the time. If you got a tape, let's see.
I'm going to tell you, I'm
You
gonna
got
end
a
all
tape.
this
I don't want to
speculation
see
right
Jimmy
now
Garvin's
myself, but
tape.
Before I get into this film, I got to let the cat out of the bag. You know, I'm sure Michael won't mind, but you know.
And streaming
we've been
originals
working
kind of are the
last couple
closest we have to
months with
syndicated
Dick
TV, but there's
Clark on a
nothing
concert
like
summer special that's gonna
flipping
be coming
around
out.
at like
And this
2
footage that we're
a.m.
about to see here
and
is
seeing
part of that
some
summer's event.
weird ass
This is
horror
hot news
show
now, baby. I'm talking about, like I said before,
with like the
500
local
laser
gun
lights,
shop
36
ads.
cameras, 112,000 fans screaming, hey, Craig, play it, baby. Roll it. Roll that film.
Greg Leather's getting a shout out.
Well, roll that film, Craig, baby. Show
the
these
what?
people a concert.
You do it? Craig, you roll it. You haven't seen it?
What do you mean?
No.
Don't start that. He hasn't seen it stuff
He
with
does
me.
not have a tape. I knew he didn't. You standing
I
up
knew
there.
he didn't. We caught you again, Jimmy.
Roll it, Craig. Play the tape.
We gotta
He's
get
got
up to
the
the ring.
tape. He's
We've
gotta
got
have the
matches. You're
Craig.
sitting out here
Look
lying
on
to
the
get
right
it all.
Nobody
We've got
in
another
wrestling has
match.
ever been exasperated as well as Lance Russell was exasperated.
Introducing team number 1 in the ring, first from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, weighing 236 pounds, Mike Simpson.
I'm sure they didn't put these guys' names up on the board. It was just blonde mullets. Howard Hesper, an all-time great. Thank you for bringing up Howard Hesper. The Rock and Roll Express. Ricky Morton's in the locker room probably like, these kids still in my gimmick. Like when Triple H in like 2004 wanted all the long hair guys thought I cut their hair. Wrestling, like wrestlers today don't quite age like wrestlers did. These guys were probably like 35.
I go out on a limb for you guys. I can't believe it. I try to be nice.
And they seem like they're 50. They seem so old.
Hey, idiot! Are you missing something? You know, he's talking to you here about their great tours, you know.
Yes, GQ Stratus's hair, GQ Camp Sampson's hair is fucking awesome. Whatever the fuck his name is. Ricky Morton has a tape.
There's the police around here. I'm telling you what, that's the tape I was.
Also, they have a wired mic, so Ricky is like stuck in that one spot in the ring. The glamour guys, that should have been their name. Listen to them getting this big pop for destroying a VHS tape. Would have been the biggest heels in ECW going out there being like, hey, I got the new Kibashi Misawa match. Rip, rip, rip. I've heard of the $1 Billion Babies. I've never seen them. GQ Stratus and Mike Sampson. I've heard about them, seen pictures of them. Mike Sampson also, I believe, also had a godly mullet. Ricky Morton is 34 years. I'm 36 right now. I'm not saying I'm like a beautiful creature, but it's wild. Ricky Morton feels so old. Culture just moved different back then. Like I feel like now, because of like the way like social media is kind of just like not let things die, like nostalgia is way harder to come by. Like culture just kind of stopped at a certain point. Fashion just kind of stopped at a certain point. So now things and people don't age quite the same way. Well, thank you, Jonathan. I appreciate it. But whereas back then, come out to and it's like, oh, you might as well be a senior citizen. They punched the microphone. So mad. And for destroying that tape. What if that tape had like I don't know, one of those like Flair Steamboat house show classics?
Well, he did. He's a common thief. That's what he is. He's a common thief.
Well, if he got that of yours, there's had to be some reason to think.
Big fan of them putting a spotlight in the crowd on some empty chairs. Like the red section over there. Robert Gibson. At number 3 on the Casey Kasem Top 20 Countdown.
Look at Gibson dropping in with that lower leg.
You know, I have another
that lower leg.
Right now,
no, you don't. You stay right here. The last time you went up there, you interfered in their match, cost them a world title shot in there, and gave the
that's the thing, man. Like, in this time period, it was so easy to be a heartthrob in wrestling. You just kind of had long hair and let the announcers be like, man, the girls like these guys, and guess what? Girls were gonna like you.
The Rock and Roll Express before a jam.
Like Steve Kern was a heartthrob. And that man looked like a thawed out caveman. And again, Robert Gibson, bless his heart. It's like in the video games where you have to layer the hair on the Krita wrestler. That's GQ Stratus's hair.
Express coming up with the victory. We're going to take a look at the slow-mo on that one.
Oh, you got a lot of nerve. We don't want to look at the slow-mo. What we want to do is get these guys arrested for stealing my private property.
We've got the Midnight Express.
The cops aren't even arresting the guy who's bootlegging the show, Jimmy.
Castro's high performance of the week. This week featuring the Road Warriors. There's Hawk and his partner Animal, managed by Precious Paul Ellering. The Legion of Doom have been World Tag Team Champions and Tag Team of the Year. They combine great size with their powerful strength to annihilate opponents around the world. The Road Warriors are this week.
Yeah, please don't butterfly affect the stream and like destroy it by time traveling Soggy Hydrox. Oh my god, that. I mean, thankfully he kinda landed safe.
Their high
That was
compression engines not
horrifying.
only rev high, they can run hotter than regular small car engines. Their searing
Most,
heat
yeah.
can begin to break down an
You don't even need to be tan to be like an 80s wrestling heartthrob. Like, Ricky Morton was pretty pale.
maximum protection against viscosity and
I mean, the Fantastic's very tan. Fabulous ones had great tan. Now that's because they just hung out in Speedos all night.
heated up. Castrol, engineered for today's smaller cars.
At Bic, we sympathize with the ways that you pull and stretch your face in search of a better shave. That's why we've created the Bic Metal Shaver. The patented Bic Metal stretches and smooths your skin thanks to its unique metal guard bar, so the shaver glides closely and comfortably. So instead of stretching, start reaching for a Bic Metal Shaver.
Watch it, that dude's like, he's like a circus performer and his gimmick is like rubber face.
No show on television has as generous a sense of musical history and democracy as Night Music.
I mean, that's cool, I
The
guess.
music series against which all future TV efforts will be measured. It's the best
Little
damn music
extreme.
show on television.
I mean, that's
See for
cool.
yourself every week when Michelob presents Night Music.
Tonight at 11 on WPTT TV, Pittsburgh's 22.
One sure way to shake your blues, put yourself in someone else's shoes. It could take less time to clean your room or do homework.
Why is every commercial about how much homework sucks? That was just a thing in this era. It's like, hey kids, stay in school, but also all the other commercials are going to tell you how much it sucks to go to school and do homework. Like those penguins had some competition.
See you later, Dad. Thanks for signing my shoes.
Why? He's going to prom, but he looks like he's about to like sell insurance.
Hey, thanks. They kind of needed it.
You're all right.
Why did he? What?
Doing something nice is doing something right. From the Church of Jesus
That's
Christ.
a swerve at the end. What did prom have to do with any of that? I mean, he's getting dressed in a suit. He can do that to go to church. Oh, fuck. Robbie Idol brought his dad to work. Paul Drake. Like, why wasn't Paul Drake the star of an action show at this point? Like, Paul Drake looks like he's Jim Cornette's dad. Jim Cornette's sexy dad.
Midnight Express making their way to the ring, of course, for the ceremonial introduction by Jimmy Cornette.
I've said it before, I'm a big fan of the Midnight Express's trans rights robes here. He brought his daddy to work. Yes. Like, rarely in a match do you have Stan Lane facing somebody who slayed more pussy than he did, but Paul Drake is pussy slayer. I'm sorry to be lewd, but that's the only way to describe Paul Drake. Pussy slayer. Paul Drake looks like one of those Masters of the Universe figures.
You got your tape back, your precious tape that you were telling us all about.
I got the cartridge back. There's no tape left.
Yeah. Here's
at Sweet Stan. I mean,
Like, Stan seems like he's mad that he has to wrestle somebody
Sweet Stan Lane,
who
beautiful Bobby Eaton, no question about
is,
it. A dynamite
like, getting way more sex than him.
love everything about him for a fact.
Okay, so Viva La Flame brings up which did everyone prefer, Eaton and Lane or Eaton and Condrey? I prefer Eaton and Condrey, but I don't think you can lose with either
He's way back going to the midsection on beautiful Bob. Front face locking. Looks like he's getting ready for it. Yep, he's going to take him up.
Paul Drake, I don't think has done anything in this match. Oh God, Robbie Idol was
I'm
broken.
surprised at you, Lance. Not once this evening have you mentioned the fact that Michael's coming back next week, and I'm telling you, when he comes back, all this mess that's been going on is going to be coming to a screeching halt.
Bobby Eaton looking like he came in third in his Beaver.
I'll believe it when I see
You think Bobby Eaton and GQ Stratus in the locker room were like,
What do you think about that? Both of you. There's not room for the two of us here on the show, and that's all there is to it. Well,
yeah, Paul Drake has done nothing. Okay, I think he finally got involved. Stan Lane just kicks him in the balls. You will not use that dick.
Right down at the edge of the ring, Paul Drake.
Ooh, I would have loved to have seen that. What the hell happened?
Oh, yeah, funny, Jimmy.
Yeah, Paul Drake is absolutely a stripper. There's no way he's not. Like, he has stripper vibes.
Sweet Stan picking Robbie Idol up, rolls him back under the bottom rope. Jam-packed crowd, Johnstown, Pennsylvania. Jimmy Jam Garvin, Lance Russell coming to you on
That's nice of them to let them. Paul Drake almost falls down getting into the ring.
Mr. Nice Guy. That's what I get for being a nice guy, Lance.
Hey, they're letting Paul Drake do things. They're respecting their elder. That's nice.
Great teamwork. Shot to the midsection. Takes that neck and turns him around on the reverse neck. Uh-oh, look out!
Yeah, I would agree with that take. That Eaton and Lane were more TV ready.
With a big elbow.
But Eaton and Condrey were the better working.
Oh, you like a little
Paul Drake walked so Buff Bagwell could.
He deserves a big applause for that.
Sure, get a guy down the middle of the ring, climb up on the top rope, and then try to.
I have no doubt that before Cowboys for Angels was a website, you could fax Cowboys for Angels and get Paul Drake. I think Ric Flair would have been jealous of Paul Drake.
Well, Jimmy Cornette and his boys pull off another one. Okay, I'll tell you what. We've got a main event still to go. In just a moment, we'll be interviewing the World Heavyweight Champion live.
They gave
Ric
Paul
Flair,
Drake
right
free
now,
ruse.
a commercial break coming up, but
Put his
first,
condoms in.
1990, it's going to be the year of Teddy Long, it's going to be the year of Sugar Ray Long, it's going to be the year of Theodore Long, or whoever I might be. So I've got one thing accomplished already.
Who knows, man? Whoever you might identify as, Teddy, you do that.
And I'm not worried about it because I know we're going to get them. So Brother Butch Reed, so Brother Ron Simmons are going to be stepping high like a peacock with those.
The chat does love Paul Drake. He's very erotic. We love erotic men. I'm not sure if he's Eric Fontaine erotic, but he's very erotic. Paul Drake at Splash Mountain. Oh, God.
I can assure you, not only are you going down and lose the title, but we're going to kick your as well.
Oh, Ron. Ron had to get bleeped there. Ron got a little saucy. Real champions. I don't think I've ever heard somebody say champions like unironically. Oh, I love this. Hurry back, Sting.
America's favorite action show.
Ooh, another American Gladiators ad.
Men and women of exceptional power and conditioning battling to become the best in the ultimate test.
So I love the 1990 like random shapes floating around.
American Gladiators.
Hey, Shellcracker with the 3. Yes, damn indeed.
Really knows how to defend herself. Catch all the quarterfinal action. American Gladiators.
I am hyped.
Tonight at 6
American Gladiators. Hell yeah.
22. Sunday's Weekend Cinema Showcase brings you back-to-back Marx Brothers and more.
Ooh.
The fun starts at noon as Groucho cooks with Carmen Miranda in the wild musical comedy Copacabana. At 2,
the hottest
Harpo, and Chico
spot
horse
north
around
of
in the
Havana.
classic comedy A Day at the Races. Then at 4:30, Barbara Eden gets an exercise in patience.
Guess who's been sleeping in my bed? It's Paul Drake.
Guess who's been sleeping in my bed? All this Sunday beginning at noon on WPTT TV.
We should write to that P.O. box. I'm sure.
I'm Edward James Olmos, and we're recruiting new teachers. For information, call 1-800-45...
Wait, this isn't a show? I thought that was a show.
A daring reporter.
They just filmed all those scenes for a 30-second commercial.
Tearing down the Berlin Wall. The pictures that can blow the Blackwood team's cover.
Better find this guy for his morning edition.
And jeopardizes.
See, I'm jealous. You got to shake hands with Sting because the person in front of me, Jonathan, had sweaty ass hands. I got a fist bump. It was a movie. Okay, I thought so. I thought so, but then at the end it's like, hey, we need teachers.
Pittsburgh's 22. Just a moment, we've got our
What was that? We don't have enough time for this commercial break, so just cut to Pink for a minute.
Weeks ago by Ole Anderson. Right now, Jimmy Jam, we have some great footage coming for the folks.
Hey, good luck getting it shown.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Good luck, yeah.
This is some great footage that has to do with one of the hottest competitions
Stand and deliver.
in entire professional wrestling. I'm talking about the world heavyweight
you can tell I've
champion
never
Ric
seen
Flair and the challenger Lex Luger. I think even you would agree.
Look at that eyeliner on Jimmy.
I hate to say it,
This is the Joy Division era Freebirds.
I don't agree with you on nothing else, but the fact is, Lex Luger is the
imagine Michael
closest
Hayes
one yet to come to taking that title away from Ric Flair. But the fact is, Ric Flair is still the heavyweight champion.
Remembering you.
Where's your girlfriend anyway?
All right, quit that. We're going to take a look at the
Monday,
footage.
Tuesday, fall apart.
Right here.
Wednesday, Thursday, break my heart.
Torture rack. Flair better head for that apron.
Part of the show where we just re-air a pay-per-view match for no reason.
He's got her. He's got her.
And this is very uncomfortable considering what we know about Nancy Sullivan's real life. Not so much with Lex Luger, but with other gentlemen. You gotta run like a prostitute. Hey, Paul Drake was a prostitute too. Probably. Why is there a guy in the front? I never noticed this watching this show. There's a guy in the front row dressed like a old-timey news reporter with like the pencil and the paper pad and the hat. Nick Patrick's down because why not? He needed a break. I just want, now I'm just fixated on the idea of Michael Hayes doing a Cure cover album. Paul Drake isn't on Cage Match. The thing is, I remember him doing jobs pretty regularly for WCW. Like, it's wild.
He's pinned him 3 times there. 3 counts, that's 9. Wait a minute, there's Arn Anderson. And only Anderson. They know Flair is a big
And Sting's at ringside like, you guys get out. Or I'm gonna have to call my friend RoboCop. Yes, Speedy, this is, yeah. Lex used to like kind of get lazy with the rack and like bend him sideways. This looks painful. He's not on Cage Match, he's on OnlyFans. Yes, Scuffle and Hillbilly. That's a good point. Cage Match can only rate somebody to 10, so Paul Drake can't be on there. Is Paul Drake on WikiFeet? I know he wore boots, but Paul Drake is on WrestlingData.com. That's the sexier of the wrestling databases. Confirmed. Paul Drake is on Wrestling Data. It's probably safer, but like, I don't know. Lex could have gotten some of these guys up backwards. Like, he couldn't have gotten Roadblock up backwards. Like, probably could have gotten fucking Arn Anderson up that way. As if Ole didn't look old enough, he's wearing the tightest t-shirt and like the little trunks and the socks pulled up all the way.
world's heavyweight title. You've come
Also,
this
big fan
far
of Lex Luger wearing a
so
baseball
many
cap but no
times.
shirt.
It's Flair, it's Ole, it's the Horseman.
You need to keep the sun out of his
It's
eyes but not
some
off his
sort of
pecs.
outside interference. You know what, though? That just makes me all
Paul Drake and
the
Al
more
Perez.
determined. That
That's a
makes
sexy
me
match.
all the more fired up. That makes it seem all so worthwhile when it finally comes
Yeah,
my
Sting
way,
just like
and
showed
it's
up.
gonna come
Just he
my
flew.
way.
He put his recovery back months so he could just stand there and watch his friend get the shit beat out of him.
It is seen in every arena across this country each and every time we wrestle who is the dominant man in this sport.
Paul Drake.
Your back is to the wall, Ric Flair.
This Paul Drake
You are
joke
the
will get
most
old
desperate
soon, but
man you've ever
I'm
been
riding it
in your
into the
whole
ground.
career. And you know what? Desperate
Much like
men
Paul Drake
make
rode those women into the
mistakes.
ground.
And all it
Yeah,
takes
Lex looks
is
very,
one
you can
mistake
barely tell he's got the
in one
waistband
city.
going,
It
but
takes
yeah,
one
he's
moment
pretty nude
when your
looking.
backups aren't there, when their heads turn the other way, and I will fulfill my
Like you should have been like Ric Flair, I take my
because
hat
I
off
feel
to
the
you.
arena
Like that's what
the energy
makes
from
sense.
coast to coast, from arena to arena. They know what's gonna happen.
Paul Drake is
I know
Magnum
what's gonna
TA2.
happen, and it's
Yes.
gonna be a new world heavyweight champion.
Flex at the end.
We have him right here, the beautiful woman.
It's
the
GQ
associate
Stratus.
of the world heavyweight champion, Ric Flair.
Hello, Lance. How are you today?
Well, I am right here, and we have just
Well,
seen
I am
the
right
footage
here.
From the Wrestle
Happily
War
married.
90 in Greensboro.
Keeping it that way.
And there has been a great deal said about the competition between
Competition?
the challenger Lex Luger and the champion Ric Flair. Would you agree, champion?
That's what I call the
This
folks
is
who are
one of the
streaming on
stiffest
Twitch right now, the
competitions that
competition.
you've ever been involved in.
Well, Lance, there's no doubt
Magnum
about it. If
PNS.
these idiots would shut up and listen to the world champion, they'd learn something about the greatest sport of all, and that's wrestling.
Oh,
When
I
your
was going
name
to
is
say
Ric
ping
Flair,
pong.
when you walk the aisle with woman, when you are the world champion, you expect to compete against the best wrestlers alive. And Luger is one of the best wrestlers of all time. I'm qualified to make that remark. But at
Not
the
like you,
same
Dave
time,
Meltzer.
He's not Ric.
God, imagine if Paul Drake and Eric Fontaine teamed.
For all that awesome
Enter
physique,
GIF of Floodgates
for all
opening.
this legion of fans, for all the
I think she was woman before she was with
nationwide,
Flair, but that would
we
make sense.
still have one
Woman with the
problem
man.
For Lex Luger, he can't beat me, and he can't have woman. And you know what? If you guys out there watching TV right now, I'm talking about you guys that are a little overweight, that never
That
quite
sign
made it
looks
to
like
the
it's
top
got a
of your
picture of a
chosen
ball on it
profession,
behind Flair's
that
head.
never had this to walk around with. It really bothers you that Ric Flair has it all. And Luger, it's gotta really eat at you, pal, that I can walk out here regardless of Wrestle War and still, be Ric Flair. Walking
Yeah, it was always
down
very funny.
with-
Like every Booker's thing with Flair was, I have to cut your hair.
Well, there you hear it, the man. We'll be back in just a moment.
Weirdos. The TV main events. Got a dark match after the show? You just say main events. What are my problems? Yeah, that's Ashley. Yeah, that's Wolf Ferrell playing Ashley Schaefer. Yes.
What's it take to win in college basketball? What's it take to win in 7-Up's college basketball championship game?
But we don't talk enough about how the dot like haunted that truck.
So start practicing. 1 in 12 are
Like
winners.
that's legitimately frightening.
When you've got your power stroke going, you've got confidence that nothing's going to beat you.
Paul Drake's Power Stroke coming to NES and Sega Genesis. Why do we need the tight shot? Oh, I thought it was an armpit.
To match Power Stick's one-stroke protection, 24-hour
I got one stroke protection
in just one stroke. New Power
because I buy shitty condoms.
Coming up on Friday the 13th, the Seals.
He was our leader.
mysteriously they rolled out of the night, seeking sweet revenge.
They're cutting this place
Acting.
Vigilantes took the law into their own hands, leaving 6 vikings dead and forgotten.
Yeah, the best, in my opinion, the best episodes of this stream are when I can find stuff with the commercials left.
Clear the way.
Breaks up the monotony. Wrestling. They aired that shit at 5 p.m.
Next week on WPTT's 8 o'clock movies. Monday, move over Bond. Roger Moore is
Sherlock Holmes in New York.
Tuesday, she's out to get even with a street gang. Joanna Woodward stars in the streets of L.A. Wednesday, Malcolm McDowell surrenders his way to victory in Royal Flash. Thursday, your worst fears are confirmed when you leave your car with the Underground Aces. And Friday, Lily Tomlin's an unknown performer dreaming of stardom in Nashville. Tune in all next week for WPTT's 8 o'clock movies.
I have not seen one of those. I'm an uncultured heathen.
It's your TV main event. It is set for one fall with TV time remaining. Introducing in the ring from Minneapolis,
Here we go. By the way, spoiler alert, these guys will be the feature of tomorrow's WCW Deep Cut short.
Representative of the Horsemen, Ole Anderson, and his tag team.
If you're watching now, you will
Minnesota Wrecking Crew number 1.
Okay, so hey Stefani, welcome. You're just in time for the weirdest fucking tag team, the Minnesota Wrecking Crew 2, who did not have names, who were anonymous. So they were the Minnesota Wrecking Crew 2 number 1 and the Minnesota Wrecking Crew 2 number 2.
Introductions for our big main event. We've been
So for those of you who don't know, that is it's Mike Enos and Wayne Bloom under the masks. The Channel 22 movies, whatever tapes that Ricky Morton didn't destroy in the second segment.
In a one-on-one situation, it was accepted immediately.
So Wayne Bloom and Mike Enos were the AWA tag champs at this point, but Vern wasn't running house shows. And they in WCW needed a team, and Jim Barnett called up WCW.
On the other side of the ring, Scott Steiner will be keeping his eye on Rick's back.
Yeah, Jim Barnett calls up Vern Gagne. He's like, "Hey, can we borrow a team?" And Vern's like, "Sure, take my tag champs." So Mike Enos and Wayne Bloom did a couple months of shows under these masks. Yeah, Colt Cabana did have some nice things to say. I'm very appreciative. Colt said some nice things with the deep cut shorts. A few folks did.
You see some of that amateur move coming out there right now, Jimmy Jam.
Well, it's hard for him
very
to
appreciative of the folks who say nice things about things like this. As someone who has very low self-esteem, means more than you know. Yep, Mike Enos was in the ring. The Mauler Mike Enos. That's right, Stefan.
Look at him. He's crazy. The guy's really crazy, man.
Unorthodox is the word.
Wayne Bloom, I believe, is the one in the ring. He's the taller of the two. Against Rick Steiner, who's probably like, "You're identifying as something you weren't born as? I don't like that." Yeah, Rick Steiner had very curly hair when he grew it out. Or at least he did till like the late 90s. Probably the same place where he got that weird southern accent. He's from fucking Michigan. He's walking around talking like this. I believe this is Minnesota Wrecking Crew 2 number 1. I believe is what the Chiron said. Fuck Rick Steiner.
This was a direct out-and-out challenge.
Again, worst Family Feud answer of all time. Name the hidden cost of a car. $8,000.
Right to the midsection, head bounced off that top turnbuckle.
He's on a school board.
Look at this. Look at this. Rick Steiner, tough son of a gun. Now let's see how you like it. Grabs him and pounds him into it.
You know, I didn't know if Rick Steiner was going to actually accept that challenge, but I guess I was wrong there for once.
Number 2 should have had brown tights. That would have been great.
About it, and then he was ready to go with it. You better believe he was going to.
So like they would I guess allude on TV that they were other Andersons that were under the masks. But they like disappeared before they could like unmask and be like, "Oh, here's these secret Andersons we've been hiding." Yeah, there's nothing up there. It's just Skull. Steiner's and Beverly's at the 93 or more ruled. There was that run from like 91 to 93 where every Rumble opened with a really good tag.
With the girls up there in the stand.
Hey, you know, speaking of girls, my wardrobe girl brought one of the Freebird coats in your dressing room. How come you don't have it on?
Please. Into the ring now.
Yeah, they got the masks to match the Destruction Crew tights. Their first couple of appearances, they wore those tights, but they didn't have masks, so they just found like red masks that were in the locker room. And it looks really funny.
Well, you know, he don't have any
They look the most janky looking wrestlers.
Somebody should do something about that. He should be in the dressing room. That's where he should be.
Should be in the dressing room. Wayne Believe, yeah, these were both the Beverlys. Stefani. They were Bo and Blake Beverly. Or Mike Enos and Wayne Believe.
That's not family? Kind of. Rick Steiner caught in the head with the bottom of the foot.
And they were the object of some of the most blatant homophobia from WWF fans around that time. The Bushwhackers, it was a big thing at the time. The Bushwhackers would like get the fans to chant the slur at them. And like even in like 92, like there were a couple of news outlets where the reporters would go to house, like, there's the local house show in town. What's going on with these chants? And like I got news coverage in a couple markets that like these wholesome good guys, the Bushwhackers, are inciting hate riots. I exaggerate.
Pretty quick. I understand. Because I'm pretty good, you know.
Yeah, I'm a Wayne Bloom and Mike Enos guy. I think very underrated team. Mike Enos was a really good wrestler. Like, there was a point from like it was 94 until he went to WCW where Mike Enos was in New Japan. He just got really good. Rick Steiner's like, I can't keep my neck on the rope for that spot. That would be too smart.
Number one is what they designate him. Look at
him. Ricky caught him. If my dad talked about me the way that Lance Russell talked about literally any babyface, I might like myself a little bit.
That was an impressive move made there by Rick Steiner, but
oh jeez, blasting him with that knee. Again, nothing really up there.
I'll tell you that Scott Steiner is going to end up getting in trouble out there if he keeps.
Like, I know I wear a hoodie sometimes when I do these streams. There's a guy in the front row that appears to be wearing like 3 coats all layered. Yeah, Enos was, it was Mike Enos. I forget who the opponent was. But Mike Enos was in the ring when Scott Hall first walked out on Nitro.
I don't think anybody throws a clothesline like Steiner. There's no doubt about it. He's got a lot of power behind it, man.
Jimmy Jam, we made the remark about
I was scared, Kenji Jungle Tiger. I was scared of Tiger Jackson as a child. Because I had this thing where I believed that little people had the strength of adults, but because they were small, they could attack children. Because I was a dumbass kid. Oh, hey, Rick Steiner. That was an interesting uppercut. Oh, yes! Pure Head Spike. Again, shame Rick Steiner didn't have more in his head to spike on. But
because that may be the first one that Scott would come running after. Well, they didn't win it, not by a long shot, even though they switched off.
yeah, that's pretty blatantly Wade and Blue.
He's got himself some kind of a tag team there, but Rick Steiner took it.
But I don't know if any of you have seen Tiger Jackson dressed as Dink recently in the last few years at the conventions. It's genuinely scary because he does the makeup all sloppy and like doesn't quite wear the mask the right or the hood thing the right way.
This is better
And he's like sad
my
looking.
teddy bears and eating a big banana split or something. Look at, here he is.
Is he wearing Jimmy Garvin's jacket?
I'm doing a butcher. I'll tell you something. Kevin Sullivan, Cactus Jack, you better be ready.
Wrestling's favorite couple.
He's
Just
meaner than me. He's meaner
so
than me.
romantic.
He likes everything. Sometimes he kind of picks at me and gets on my nerves a little bit. But I'll tell you what, when he starts picking at you, Cactus and Sullivan, you're going to be history.
Why did WCW have multiple wrestlers with developmental delay gimmicks? That is Norman the Lunatic. Funny, who later became Trucker Norman when mental health advocates, I'm not joking, in 1990 mental health advocates were like, hey, this is insensitive. So he became Trucker Norm.
Usually in 15 minutes or less. Of course, you could try using someone else.
Abdullah should have been in the
You could also
cartel.
go clam digging.
That is the same dude who was Bastion Booger, who was Friar Ferguson, Muckin' Singh,
anyone else.
How do they
Mike
know
Shaw.
dance is Friday? Oh, do they have a brain? Ooh, the pimples. Their tummies uncanny. Look, you can't let them plan
No, they
their
don't.
life.
They don't have a brain.
Hard line.
What? And the commercials just like don't have brain damage.
Execute pimples with Oxy-10.
It makes it sound like we're like trying to make the pimples like
without a prescription.
make the weakness into a strength.
Tonight.
What's tonight?
Between a man and his machine.
This little joyride he's on is undermining the entire balance of this country.
We'll find him and we'll catch him.
Lee Majors takes the ride of his life in a 21st century cross.
Lee Majors stars in
No hiding places where they're
I
headed.
don't know, like
Burgess Meredith co-stars in The Last Chase. Tonight at 8 on WPTT.
Burgess Meredith looks like such a pervert.
You've seen her, you've met her, you know her. She is medicine, law, education, nursing, business.
She is medicine?
She is the Carlo College woman.
You sound like a wrestler walking around the locker room with like a bottle of pills. She is medicine.
Tradition at Carlo, one of Pittsburgh's leading liberal arts colleges.
Yeah, dude, there were so many.
Day program, as well as the
OxyClean.
College,
What was the other one?
Hill College, and the Carlo Camp, an accelerated
There were plenty.
evening
It's
program
late.
for working adults.
Yeah, all the
This year,
Stefani,
Carlo
all of
community
the
is
zit
celebrating its
creams.
spirit. It's 60
And the
years of
one, the
academic
blimp
excellence.
at SummerSlam
Its
that one
partnership
year.
with the Pittsburgh area, and its founding by the Sisters of Mercy.
This
Happy
commercial is
60th
just like
anniversary,
pictures
Carlo
somebody
College.
took around campus. They couldn't be bothered to film anything.
Promotional consideration paid for
That
by
guy in the front
following.
row on the last show stole all the
Sugar
damn
Daddy.
cameras.
Some things never change.
Sugar, oh
Sugar
god,
Daddy has the flavor which lasts a lifetime.
I don't like that. Stridex, thank you.
It's a terrible thing to do.
Thank
because
you,
it started
chat.
oils in the pan,
Stridex
not in the
says.
engine.
Stridex had a
Startup
blimp
lubrication that lasts over
at
50,000 miles.
SummerSlam.
Slick 50, the engine wear protector.
Seriously,
Be
the
a video
only
warrior with FCI's challenging Nintendo game World Championship.
challenging.
Wrestling. Join your
That's
favorite
how you want to
superstars in
advertise
real
your.
wrestling
This
action.
game
Move
is
FCI,
too hard
not
for
just good
you.
stuff.
You dumb little
The
brained
NWA Pro
geeks.
was brought to you in part by Castrol Motor Oil. Castrol, engineered for today's smaller cars. Woo, what a program today on the NWA
Whoa, what a
Pro.
show.
Rick Steiner took the
Hey,
challenge
Jimmy
head
Garvin,
on.
pull my
1, 2, 3
finger.
in that small package, got him down. Next week, Jimmy Jam, we are going to have the World Tag Team belts at stake when both of the Steiners, Rick and Scott, will be going against the Minnesota Wrecking Crew 2, and the titles are on the line.
Yes, yes, and what else now? Next week, you can't forget to tell all the fans that next week, Michael P.S. Hayes is coming back, and we're going to have a ball. You're going to have both of us out here. We're going to have
Yeah,
so
pro
much
wrestling
fun.
rule.
And you got to get this coat. It's hanging in your dressing room. You'll look good in it.
I keep telling you, there's room for
Playing
only
cross
2
shot.
of us out here on this particular program in there. So don't be coming up with any
Hey,
ideas.
how about this? Did you see the police drag that Rock and Roll Express out the back door? I mean, they
Lance
had him
Russell's the
handcuffed.
best.
What are you
He just seems like the
telling them now? Because of
sweetest,
what they
he's
did.
the
They
sweetest,
stole my
nicest
private
old man.
property, you know. Because
Wrestling's
I was trying to be a nice
dad.
guy once again for all the fans out there, which, by the way, I've been getting more fan mail than you. if you haven't noticed. But they handcuffed him. You've seen it, right? They threw him up there.
When you stop that stuff, you're going to have people believing all that kind of stuff, Michael.
I bet they're... No, you're getting nervous because Michael's coming next week, right?
You got him on my mind.
I bet they're
People normally
right
got nervous when Michael would come.
You gone to the police or something to take care of the Rock and Roll Express because you can't handle them and Michael can't handle them?
Well, we'll just...
I mean, why am I not surprised that Michael Hayes would call the cops on somebody?
Because they can't be treating us like this, you know? And I gotta tell you, I'm talking about 112,000
Saturday Night Slam Masters
ruled. They camped out for 2 days to get the tickets.
You tried it for all the
Imagine if Lance Russell was Mr. Building.
36 cameras.
Yeah, sure.
You know how hard? Nobody gives me credit for going all over Europe touring and playing in the band and then coming back here and wrestling and putting up with you.
Yeah, he's Kermit on the Muppet Show.
Nobody gives me credit. I traveled Munich, Stockholm, Leningrad,
for Jimmy Jam. Lance Russell saying bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye, everybody.
I travel everywhere.
Yeah, I know.
All right. Let me get stretched. We're finishing up. Thank you all so much for joining me here tonight for another edition of WCW Deep Cuts Live as my computer's doing its thing. We're relax for a second. Next week, we're going to go to the year 1999. 2 episodes of WCW Saturday Night. I know we just did 2000, but I assure you, 1999 feels just as different as 2000. So we're going to do that. Again, no Off the Grid Sunday. WrestleMania is happening. I want to watch that with my son. So we're going to do that. Thank you all so much for the nice words in the chat. This is always a highlight of the week. Thank you all so much. And as I always like to say at the end of these things, even if you don't make it here, let's try to make it the next 7 days. Just make it the next Tuesday. 7 days, 7 sleeps. We'll get there. So thank you all so much again for the kind words. Thank you for your time. I never take that for granted that you give me 2 hours of your time every Tuesday. This has been WCW Deep Cuts Live. If you're watching this on YouTube, go follow me on Twitch. If you're watching this on Twitch, go follow me on YouTube. New WCW Deep Cuts shorts twice a week, Mondays and Wednesdays. So, without a doubt, this was a time. Thank you all so much. I'll see you next Tuesday at 9. Goodbye.